Before we begin, remember this. Greatness is never built in a single dramatic moment. Success is rarely the result of one giant leap. And transformation almost always begins with something so small, it feels insignificant. But small does not mean powerless. Now let me tell you a story. There was once a young man named Daniel who lived in a quiet town where nothing much seemed to change. The buildings were old, the roads were dusty, and most people believed that life would always remain exactly as it was. Daniel was different. He had dreams. He dreamed of building a successful business. He dreamed of traveling the world. He dreamed of giving his family a better life. But every time he looked at where he was and compared it to where he wanted to be, the distance felt overwhelming. "I need something big," he would say to himself. "A big opportunity, a big break, a big chance." So he waited. He waited for the perfect idea. He waited for the perfect timing. He waited for someone to notice his potential. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months, and nothing changed. One evening, as he sat outside his small home, frustrated and tired of his stagnant life, an elderly neighbor walked by. The old man noticed Daniel's troubled expression and sat beside him. "You look like someone carrying a heavy dream," the old man said gently. Daniel sighed. "I want to change my life, but I don't know how. I don't have money. I don't have connections. I don't have anything big enough to start." The old man smiled. "Do you brush your teeth every day?" he asked. Daniel looked confused. "Of course. Do you eat every day?" "Yes." "Do you sleep every night?" "Yes." The old man nodded. "You see? Small actions, repeated daily, they shape your health, they shape your energy, they shape your life. Why do you think success works any differently?" Daniel frowned. "But those are tiny things." "Exactly," the old man replied. "Tiny things done consistently create powerful results." The words felt simple, almost too simple. But that night, Daniel couldn't stop thinking about them. The next morning, instead of waiting for a big opportunity, he decided to take one small step. He had always wanted to start an online business, but didn't know where to begin. Instead of trying to build everything at once, he made a decision. He would spend just 30 minutes each day learning. That's it. Just 30 minutes. The first day felt insignificant. He watched a tutorial, took a few notes, closed his notebook. Nothing magical happened. The second day, he did the same. The third day, he almost skipped it. "It's just 30 minutes, he thought. "It won't matter." But then he remembered the old man's words. Small actions, repeated daily. So he did it anyway. Weeks passed. His knowledge grew. Slowly he began to understand things that once seemed complicated. He learned about marketing, customer needs, and simple product design. After 2 months, he launched a very basic online service. It wasn't impressive. It wasn't perfect. But it was real. The first week, he made nothing. The second week, he made a small sale. It wasn't much. In fact, most people would have laughed at the tiny amount. But Daniel didn't laugh, because that small sale was proof. Proof that effort compounds. Proof that small steps move you forward. Encouraged, he kept going. He improved his service a little each week, adjusted his strategy, learned from mistakes, invested another 30 minutes every day. Over time, those 30 minutes turned into skills. Those skills turned into confidence. That confidence turned into growth. Within a year, his side project had become a stable source of income. Within 2 years, it surpassed his regular job. People in his town started asking him, "How did you do it? What was your big breakthrough?" Daniel would smile. There was no big breakthrough. No dramatic moment, no overnight success, no single lucky opportunity. There were just small steps, repeated, relentlessly. But the story doesn't end there. Because Daniel realized something even more powerful. Small steps don't only work for business, they work for everything. He began applying the same principle to his health. Instead of trying extreme diets or intense workout plans, he committed to just 20 minutes of exercise daily. At first, there was no visible change. But months later, his body felt stronger. His energy improved. His posture changed. His confidence increased. He applied it to his relationships. Instead of waiting for grand gestures, he started small habits, one thoughtful message a day, one meaningful conversation a week, one act of kindness whenever possible. Over time, his relationships deepened. He applied it to personal growth. Reading just 10 pages a day, reflecting for 5 minutes each night, practicing gratitude in the morning. And slowly, his mindset shifted. What Daniel discovered is something most people overlook. We overestimate what we can do in a day, but we underestimate what we can do in a year. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack patience. They want dramatic results from minimal consistency. They want transformation without repetition. They want harvest without planting daily seeds. But life doesn't reward intensity. It rewards consistency. Think about water dripping on stone. One drop does nothing. 1,000 drops seem harmless. But millions of drops, over time, carve solid rock. That's the power of small steps. There's another part of the story you should hear. One day, a young boy from the town approached Daniel. "I want to be successful like you," the boy said. "Tell me the secret." Daniel looked at him carefully and asked, "What did you do today to move toward your dream?" The boy hesitated. "Nothing yet. I'm waiting for the right time." Daniel laughed softly. "There is no perfect time," he said. "There is only today, and today only needs one small action." The boy looked disappointed. "Just one?" "Yes, just one. But tomorrow, do another. And the day after that, another. Protect your small habits like treasure. They will build your future." Years later, that same boy became successful in his own field. And when people asked him for the secret, he gave the same answer. One small step. Every day. You see, the world celebrates big wins. It celebrates dramatic transformations. It celebrates overnight success stories. But what the world rarely shows you are the quiet mornings, the repetitive routines, the days when nothing seems to change. That's where real success is built. In silence, in discipline, in consistency. So if you're feeling stuck right now, if your dream feels too big, if your current situation feels too small, don't look for a giant leap. Look for a tiny step. Can you read 1 page today? Can you save $1 today? Can you practice one skill for 20 minutes today? Can you make one healthy choice today? It may feel insignificant, but insignificant actions, repeated consistently, become unstoppable forces. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not one massive decision. It's hundreds of small ones. And here's the beautiful part. Small steps are available to everyone. You don't need wealth to take a small step. You don't need connections to take a small step. You don't need permission to take a small step. All you need is commitment. So start today. Start before you feel ready. Start before you feel confident. Start before you feel prepared. Because clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. And 1 year from now, If you honor your small daily promises, you will look back at this moment with gratitude. You'll realize that the tiny steps you almost ignored were actually the turning points of your life. Remember, mountains are climbed one step at a time, books are written one page at a time, empires are built one decision at a time, and lives are transformed one habit at a time. So take your step, just one, and then take another tomorrow. That's how big change begins.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the story, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories like this.